Bronny his field goal percentage like 20%. He hasn't shot much, but I think he's, I think he's 2 for 11.
Reeves and Luka, what was done to them, but that's where
Dalton connect. Bronny James lines it up. Michael Ray, who Magic Johnson said, boy, he played like me.
That's what he's been as a pro.
That shit is a 2-pack of ass.
Whole point is, Bronny James has been a slightly above average late second round pick.
When it comes to the Bronny James experience, it seems like every single day, every single week, there's some new narrative, some new storyline to prop this guy up as a legit NBA player. And of course, you watch him play, even look at the stats, this guy pretty objectively isn't a quality NBA player, even quality NBA bench player. And how do you know that? Anytime Bronny makes a layup, even makes a jump shot, it is celebrated like an NBA championship.
Kicks it up to Jackson Hayes. Bronny James gets inside, shoots in the paint.
To say Bronny James is a terrible NBA player doesn't make you a basketball genius, basketball savant. But what does make you is someone who's not afraid to tell the truth and point out the obvious. And of course, looking at Bronny's numbers, this guy to the entire NBA, one of the worst players currently playing. Out of 327 current NBA players who played at least 10 minutes per game and played in 5 games, Bronny's ranks are as follows. Points per game, 325. Field goal percentage, 324. 2-point percentage, 321. And true shooting percentage, 326.
I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Now, when it comes to the Bronny James defenders, let's be honest. There's not really any Bronny James fans. What these people are LeBron fans who by proxy have to support Bronny James and everything he does. Case in point, someone like Nick Wright, the biggest weasel in sports media who lies constantly.
If we are going to be fair and we are going to look at this objectively, we should say, hey, how does his production up to this point in the season compare to the other guys drafted in the second half of the first round?
Luka seeing numbers to kick out. Here's Bronny James. Totally wide open.
Oh, that's not good.
So if you go picks 45 through, I think there were only 58 in that draft, oddly, instead of 60. And you're like, oh, so of those 14 guys, 7 of them are not on an NBA roster.
That's the whole point, dummy.
So stopping that clip right there very quickly, Nick Wright's overall point that Bronny James has one of the better players at the back end of his draft class doesn't really make that much sense. And pointing out half these guys in the back half of the draft aren't in the NBA any longer, that's not some smoking gun that proves Bronny James actually belongs. As in my view, it's the exact opposite. As what it proves to Bronny James is given tons of leeway, extra opportunities because of who he is and what his last name is.
Bingo!
Look at someone like Antonio Reeves, the 47th pick. This guy in his NBA journey has had tons of up and downs and been traded numerous times. As looking at the start of it, drafted by Orlando, traded to the Pelicans, waived by the Pelicans, then got a 2-way contract in Charlotte. The 47th pick in a draft class, that's kind of how it goes. You get traded, waived, you're in the G League, you're not, you get called up here and there. The life of a normal second round pick, late second round pick, is of extreme pressure and very limited opportunities. And looking at Reeves, when he got a chance to prove himself, actually played fairly well. As looking at 2025, 6.9 points per game, 45% shooting, 39% from 3 at 15 minutes per game. And looking at the last 10 games this season, his numbers were very, very impressive. 15 points, 47% shooting, above 40% from 3, and 25 total made threes. This guy, when given an opportunity to play basketball, actually show what he can do, played fairly well, and I would say the last 10 games was a legit NBA player. But guess what happened 3 months later?
You're fired!
Antonio Reeves last year showed more signs than Bronny James ever showed in even his best games. And again, what does that prove? If you're a late second round pick, your margin for error is very, very thin. And even if you play very, very well like Reeves did the final 10 games, that doesn't guarantee you anything. Because in the NBA, you're expendable. Now, once again to prove Bronny James is a quote-unquote make-a-wish player Look at Kevin McCullough Jr. This guy in Bronny James' draft was pick number 56, and right now is no longer in the NBA. And look at his production. 1.5 points, 2.0 boards, pitiful shooting at 7 minutes per game. Kevin McCullough right there, not a great first year, probably not deserving an NBA spot. But what is that eerily comparable to? Bronny James in his first year, and heck, even his second year. Someone like Kevin McCullough Jr., who played awful, was given 4 games to fail before he got the boot. Bronny James so far has played a whopping 36 games, 9 times more than Kevin McCullough.
Pick 47 has not played, is not on a roster. Pick 48 has played 11 minutes. Pick 49, pick 50, pick 51 has not played or on G League teams. Pick 52, Quentin Post, has actually been solid for the Warriors. And pick 53, Cam Spencer's been solid for the Grizzlies. Pick 54, not on a roster. Pick 55, Bronny. Pick 56, pick 57, G League, or not on a roster.
For the vast majority of those late second round picks who are no longer in the NBA, that's not an indictment on them, but more so Bronny James. And looking at Nick Wright's comparison, you're comparing Bronny James to the back half of an already pretty bad draft. Look at the picks 45 through 58, a total of 13 players who played a game in the NBA. Bronny compared to those players is not even great compared to those guys. Points per game ranked 6th, 3-point percentage is 7th, 30% percentage 11th, box plus minus 9th, and win shares 13th. So even compared to the worst players in the back half of the draft, not just the second round of the draft, but the back end of the draft, Bronny compared to those guys is still kind of meh. And staying above average is a big stretch.
Whole point is, Bronny James has been a slightly above average late second round pick.
I disagree.
That's what he's been as a pro. A slightly above average late second round pick. That's it.
Fifth. Bronny against Beat. 4-3.
Like we see over and over again, the bar for Bronny James isn't at the floor, it's beneath the floor. And for someone like Nick Wright, being a clutch sports asset, you gotta have at least some shame. When you're defending LeBron James, at least he's a great player, puts up good stats. Bronny James is neither. And here's one thing we've all noticed. When it comes to Bronny James defenders like a Nick Wright, if he has one good game out of 10 games, what they care about is that one good game. The other bad 9 games, kick it to the curb does not matter. That one great game proves he belongs and proves the haters they were wrong. Look at these shot charts. 0 for 1, 0 for 2, 1 for 4 twice, 1 for 3, then 4 for 6, jump for joy, back to 0 for 4. For a Bronny James fan, all that matters is that one 4 for 6 game.
Have we looked at Cam and said, that's the biggest dude on the field?
Yeah, he is a big quarterback.
Bronny connects on a 3. Yay!
At some point, Bronny James fans just gotta own it. Why he's in the NBA is because of his dad. Is he a good player? No. Could he be good? I highly, highly doubt it. As so far in 2 years, he showed what? Maybe 1 good game, 2 good games. They were both blowouts and nobody was trying it. Like I said before, if you're an average second round pick, late second round pick, you don't get 35, 40 games to prove yourself. You get maybe 10, 15 games, at the most, I'd say 25. If you play like complete garbage, you're cut, cast aside, your career is over. If Bronny James was Joe Schmo, the average NBA player, the average second round pick, he'd be in Europe and Greece, in some other foreign league, playing basketball where no one cared. As always, thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.